When guests don't know how, they text you. Show them instead.
I'm Jessica. I've spent 20 years building systems for teams and companies, and now I help hosts do the same. If you've ever thought there has got to be a better way to do this, you're right, and we're going to build it together. Let's get into it.
To bring this to life, we're using WordPress with the Kubio Builder, the Rufus theme, and the Content Views plugin to keep everything organized. And of course, we'll bring in ChatGPT to help draft content that's clear and guest-friendly. These tools are easy to use, even if you're not techie. Right now, our home guide page just says coming soon. So in this segment, we're going to build our first how-to guide and set up the tools that will make it easy to repeat for any part of your home. First, we need to install a free plugin called Content Views. In WordPress, plugins are like apps. They add features your site doesn't have by default. Some are paid or pro, but we'll be using the free version today. Content Views helps us organize and display our how-to blog posts in a clean, skimmable way, perfect for guests on the go. When we hear the term blog post, most of us picture something like this: a travel diary, a personal story, maybe a recap of a day downtown. But blog posts can be so much more. We're going to use them to create easy, scannable how-to guides that guests can read on their phones, complete with categories, images, and even a space for questions. So let's clean house. We'll move these default demo posts to the trash and start fresh with content that actually helps your guests. Categories are one of the most important tools for organizing your blog posts. They help you group related content together, which means your guests can quickly find the answers they need without having to scroll through everything. Let's add a couple of categories so you can see how it works. First, we'll create one called Home Guide Article. Now, we're not just calling it Home Guide because that's also the name of our page, and in WordPress, category names can sometimes take priority in URLs. To avoid conflicts, make sure your post category names are not the same as your page names. Next, we'll add a second category called Kitchen and set the parent category to Home Guide Article. This lets us create subsections on our home guide page, like rooms of the house or types of systems, for a cleaner and more helpful guest experience. In this segment, we'll combine WordPress and ChatGPT to create a clear, guest-ready how-to guide. Start by heading to the top menu in WordPress, select New, then choose Post. This is where we'll create your first guide. To make this easy, we're using ChatGPT. Here's the prompt I'm using to write a guide for our Ninja coffee maker. You can adjust it to fit any appliance or setup in your home. In just a few seconds, we've got clear step-by-step instructions guests can follow, including tips for using pods or grounds, cleaning, and image suggestions to make it visual. Now I'll copy the content from ChatGPT into our blog post. You can drop in helpful images like a shot of your specific machine or any tricky buttons guests need to find. Over on the right panel, we'll set a post category so it shows up on the right page of our guide. And we'll add a featured image to make it stand out. Once everything looks good, click Publish and your new guide is live. And one last tip. If you need to make changes later, be sure to choose Edit Post, not Edit with Kubio. Edit Post is for changing the content, while Edit with Kubio will change the template, and that affects every post using the same layout. Now that we've created our first how-to blog post and assigned it to a category, we're ready to lay out the home guide page. This is where the Content Views plugin really shines. The goal here is to make your guide feel like a visual index, something guests can quickly scan to find what they need, whether they're on a phone, tablet, or laptop. We'll start by opening the Content Views plugin and creating a new view. This is basically a visual layout tool that lets us choose what posts to show and how to display them. For this first view, I'm filtering by the Home Guide Article category. That way, we're only showing blog posts that are part of our digital home guide, and we can keep other types of posts separate later on. Next, I'll choose a layout. A simple grid or collapsible list works really well here. It keeps things tidy and easy to read on mobile. We can also decide what elements to show, maybe just the post title and a featured image, or a short intro with a read more link. The best part is that this layout is fully automatic. Every time we publish a new blog post in this category, it will instantly appear on the guide page. Once we like how it looks, we just copy the shortcode that Content Views gives us and paste it right into our home guide page. That's it. Your how-to content is now live, organized, and ready for your next guest. You learned how to write a guest-friendly how-to using blog posts, organize them with categories, lay them out with content views, and connect it all to your home guide.
You did it! Your first home guide post is live and already working for you. Keep going, and soon you'll have a guest guide that's the envy of every host.